Hello, and welcome. You're watching Art Adventures. I'm Amanda, and for this very first season of our very first episode, we begin our adventure in Trinidad, Colorado. In the heart of the Wild West, this small coal queen town is not so quiet with its history and art. We were given the privilege to start our adventure at the Fox West Theater. Like a time capsule, original backdrops from the early 20th century, later converted to show films during the Prohibition era. Our crew spent 2 evenings in this wonderful building. And interesting things we did find. Discovering secrets and details of knife chases, shootouts, and so much more. Theater and films have affected the world for as long as it's been around. Join our art adventure crew as we explore Trinidad's life in the theater, from then to now.
The theater is the basis of all civilization as we know it. There is no civilization without the theater. So people can blather on about religion or whatever they want to talk about it, but it all came out of the theater. So as the central focus of all culture, no matter where you are on the planet, it's the theater. It doesn't have to look like this, be a building. It doesn't have to have some play. The theater is the center of all culture. So if a town wanted to emerge, if a city wants to emerge, they build a theater. And why? Because it shows you're invested in culture, never makes money, always costs a lot of money, should be supported no matter what.
Well, my name is Chris Smith. I am project manager here at the Fox West Theater and have been so since 2018. I relocated from Vermont to Trinidad, Colorado to be able to shepherd and steward this building. This is an incredible historic theater. There may not be any others in the world like it.
The Fox Theater was so important in my childhood because it was owned by three sisters, the Sawyer sisters, Sally, Marie, and Julia. And they literally showed up every night in this huge Cadillac like it was a premiere of a movie for them. And they would blow out of the Cadillac just huge wigs and jewels and bracelets and the perfume just everywhere. But it was so beautiful to see a movie in there. And more importantly, the 70s were all adult movies. And really, as a child, there was nothing for you to see, which is why they made Star Wars. So any movie, R, PG, X, there was a lot of X. Didn't mean the same thing then. It just meant that there was a certain type of nudity that you couldn't show in an R-rated movie. Those women would let us see any movie we wanted. So I saw every Sunday a double feature of movies. Some of them I still have never actually recovered from. They were so damaging. But I mean, they were just laughing and thought it was hysterical that there were these kids that would show up every Sunday and just watch any movie that was, so many bad, trashy B movies I saw. Anyway, they acted like movie stars, so to me they were the most interesting part about that place.
This building was built in 1907 and opened in March of 1908. It was designed by the Rapp and Rapp firm here of Trinidad, Colorado. It's worth explaining that the Rapp and Rapp brothers of Trinidad had 2 other brothers who would attend the University of Chicago School of Architecture. They would go on to be very, very famous architects as far as theaters and especially movie theaters. This building was built by their brothers who did not attend college for architecture, but I believe that the brothers here in Trinidad got help from their brothers in Chicago. In fact, it's been well researched. myself and architect Gregory Friesen of CSNA Architects in Colorado Springs, we've done a few presentations on the topic, proving that this, the Fox West Theater of Trinidad, Colorado, is the first rap theater in the country. The brothers in Chicago had never built one before, they would build many after, and the brothers here in Trinidad had never built anything like this before.
I became a teacher, which allowed me to direct plays as well as teach academic classes. Theater, I don't know if it was my passion, but certainly once I got this job, I saw how valuable it was, especially to students, to young people, and really to the whole community.
I have a note. Almost 90 years, give or take, the Fox West Theater went through a transition, a major transition for a theater, from stage to showing films. The Trinidad State College Theater is about to go through the same transition. And it's interesting to see how the buildings are responding and how it's affecting the artist and how he adapts his craft.
And then you start ordering them around. Action.
What are you doing? Inviting them in here to search the house like that?
I knew if I invited them to do it, they wouldn't. It is Animas we call them.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Police, Miss Dodge. We'd like to speak to you. Can you open up?
Alice, do you think I should open the door?
It sounds like Officer Morgan, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's... Lucy, it's time to get up.
I'm sorry, I'm distracted.
We're going to be married soon.
Around the top,
Yeah.
if we can just
Bring that out.
keep it a little bit. I just can't get rid of it.
Married soon. Come on, Lucy.
I'm ready to marry.
Cut. Hold on.
You guys are great. It was excellent. I just want to move the camera.
I'm excited about Beyond the Door because I worked with a group of people. We were trying to see plays are notoriously hard to capture. Live plays are almost impossible to capture. Again, you may think you got it, but the magic is not there. So could we capture a play, not make you feel like you were watching a movie, and legitimately make you feel like you were at the theater? And I think we did a really good job. And I'm really interested in what it did to the actors. It made them so much better. I mean, you have to make the performance bigger for the audience, which is sitting out there, but here we had the camera so intimate with them mic'd, and so I think one of the actors that's seen it said he was better the second day, so I think it's going to make my actors better. So imagine if we do one in the fall and then they come back in the spring, they're going to want to be better, right?
Will you excuse us for a few moments? A wedding takes preparation, you know. We've got work to do.
Lucy. Lucy. Hey, Lucy.
Mr. Vanek.
What are you doing? Trying to scare me?
What are you trying to do, Mr. Vanek?
Why would there be ghosts here, do you think? Was this another building beforehand? Did someone die here?
Because the college was built on the houses of other people who they asked them to sell their houses so they could build the campus. A lot of people didn't want to move. So we had a haunted piece of furniture when I worked at the First Street Gallery downtown. It wasn't a ghost. It was a ghost that came with a piece of architecture because they didn't want their house torn down. Trinidad is filled with ghosts because a lot of really violent things have happened in Trinidad and the surrounding areas, and whatever people call the Wild West, this was the Wild West. So when I took this job, the very first play I had to direct was a great bunch of young people, and they actually picked the play. It was set in a hunting lodge somewhere in the South. So knowing a very interesting local hunter, I asked him if I could borrow a deer head, and he had this deer, these beautiful antlers, and he said, if you hurt this, I'll kill you. And I knew he was kidding, but he wasn't kidding at all. We hung the rack, this antler head on the wall. We shook the wall. It was so sturdy. Opening night, plays going so brilliantly. All of a sudden, this deer head literally lifts itself off the wall and falls on the floor. Breaks one of the antlers. The actress, being a great young actress, without missing a beat, picked it up, took it off stage, continued the play. The audience just thought it was part of the evening. We're flipping out afterwards because we're like, how did that even happen? No one was even near the wall. So the wall, because of the ghost, literally picked it up and threw it on the floor and broke it. We put it back up on the wall. We shook the wall. All of us were shaking the wall. That thing didn't even budge. So there is a ghost in the building. I don't know if it's a ghost. I don't know if you're trying to do something creative, if that's really what the muses are that you have to contend with. Nothing's going to go flawlessly. And if you're looking for flawless, you don't want to be in the theater because it's live. Anything can go wrong. And that's the exciting part.
All right, well, I'll let you want to bring that to it? Truly. I wish I knew. It was Simpson's grandson, and he passed away, and it's not in any of the newspaper articles that are out there. All right, hey, I'll do my best. It is unfortunate, but in the construction of such a large building, it became almost understood that a death would take place during the construction. This happened at the Tabor Opera House in Leadville, Colorado, and it's been documented in many other theaters. Here, it is unfortunate the one documented death that I know of is during the construction of the stage. A worker on the very highest part of the roof fell to his death onto the incomplete stage, likely into the first or second level of dressing rooms below.
Okay. That oil spot wasn't there a while ago, neither was that. I saw that. That's a thunder sheet.
Like a pinata.
That's a big stick.
Janelle wielding the big stick.
Yeah, she hit it.
Beautiful. Do it. I think it'll be okay.
That is so far up there. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's why it has such sick reverb in here. You guys want me to play on this piano too? Anybody?
I, on the other hand, was particularly drawn to the dressing rooms prior to the interview. So I strayed a little bit from my crew in the auditorium and headed for the green rooms. Maybe I'm not allowed. I later found out I was the only one who could not open this door.
Maybe Alex can open it. Only someone who has performed on this stage may go.
Keep in mind, my crew is in the auditorium. I'm the only one on stage. This is a night vision camera and an infrared flashlight. I'm in the dark. I felt like something was watching me. I want to explain myself because I turn into a real weirdo, and obviously I'm a bit of a weirdo, but I want to explain this specifically. I'm reacting the way I'm reacting because I got creeped out, and so I wanted to out creep it. I don't get creeped out easy. I like the dark. My heart started racing and I don't really know why. So my reaction is to out creep it, and that's what you have here.
Ooh. Cellar door, cellar door. What have we here, cellar door? I'm afraid to go down. Should I wait? Yes? Sure.
When I admit I'm afraid, something flies up.
I'm afraid to go down.
And when I go against my fears, and the moment my foot hits the step, Alex calls my name.
Yes?
I want to mention it, even though I can't measure it and I can't prove an emotion, but I want to make note of it, at least so I know, I guess. I already know. I'm just going to tell you, definitely could be a coincidence. 100% could be dust, I think. It probably could be dust. It's possible. It's not a bug. I had an emotional response. I can't measure this. I need to figure out how to do something to be able to show this. But my heart started racing and I felt as if someone passed by me. I wanted to note it. I wanted to take note of anything that could be something. Why? What the would it be? Is it coincidences in the world? Is it the building breathing in a way? What is making emotional responses here? What is left behind? I don't know. But maybe we can find out. I hear there's a bunch of other tests we can try that, like high school science classes will do a double split experiment. So maybe we can incorporate those into the equation and try things.
From the stage floor to the grid is 80 feet, and from the stage floor to the roof line is 110 feet. Beneath the stage are 2 flights of dressing rooms, more than a dozen dressing rooms and 1 restroom. This was not for the stars, this was for the cast and crew of the large productions that came through Trinidad.
And then when you guys were playing the Ouija board, just for a split second, the energy just felt fucked up down all the way in the basement.
The arts are very powerful, and so they can change lives, change your mind. Imagine if film had gotten into the wrong hands, where we'd be now, what we'd think was real.
Dr. Tyndall had a storied career as a clairvoyant and medium. Throughout the month of July and most of August 1908, Dr. Tyndall was the sole performer here at the Fox West Theater. I feel sketchy about this, dude. Well, yeah.
Please welcome Dr. Tyndall.